heading in summary. Silence everyone. Give the heading in summary statement of profit and loss. Here no need of any story etc. It's a very simple format. Directly only we can remember it. So just be attentive. First I'll explain it. You don't have to write that. After that we'll make the format together. Okay. First of all we discussed that this profit and loss account is called statement of profit and loss. This is also made in vertical format instead of debit and credit. In vertical format, first we show incomes and below that we show all the expenses. Okay. So statement of profit and loss will include only two things. One is income and the other is expenses. Now, incomes, no need to remember any shortcut because there are only two incomes and they are very simple to remember. One income is revenue from operations. Now, which are the two main operations or activities of the business? Buying and selling. Out of these two activities, where do you get the revenue from? Sales. So it will include only sales. And second, other incomes. All incomes other than sales will come in other incomes. Discount received, dividend received, interest received, commission received, profit on sale of assets, sale of scrap. All other incomes will come in other incomes. So no need of any shortcut. Only two major incomes for the business. One is sales and other incomes. Sales will be called as revenue from operations and all other incomes, other incomes. Any confusion in this? Okay. Otherwise, RO system, RO water, RO. Okay, but even that is not needed. Only two incomes are there, so you can directly remember. Is everyone clear with it? Now, expenses. Just now I discussed which are the two main operating activities? Buying and selling. So, selling we have taken, that we have taken in income. In expenses we will take purchases. So, purchases you remember separately. After that you remember C, D, E, F, do. C, D, E, F, do. Okay. C stands for changes in stock. Changes in stock means opening stock minus closing stock. How will you find changes in stock? Opening stock minus closing stock. D stands for direct expenses. Direct expenses are all those expenses which we used to write in trading account on debit side, except wages. Means carriage inward, railway freight, octroi, demurrage, customs duty. All those expenses will come in direct expenses. All expenses which we used to debit in trading account, except wages. Okay. These three cumulative represents trading account only. Like trading account debit side we used to, what is this changes in stock I told you? Opening minus closing. So debit side we used to have opening stock, then purchases, then all those expenses. And credit side closing stock, so we minus it. Credit side closing stock, so we minus it. So these three things consecutively, cumulative effect represents trading account. Okay. So purchases, then C, D, E, F, do. C stands for changes in stock. D stands for direct expenses. What will you include in direct expenses? Trading account debit side expenses except wages. E stands for employees benefit expenses. Employees benefit expenses. This will include wages. Whatever expenses we incur for the benefit of employees. So wages, salary, bonus, contribution to PF, four things. Okay, employees benefit expenses will include wages, salary, bonus, contribution to PF. Is everyone clear with it? F stands for finance cost. What do we used to write in finance expenses? Financial expenses? Interest. All interests will come here. Interest on debentures issued by the company, interest on bond issued by the company, interest on public deposits issued by the company. interest on loan borrowed by the company. All interest will come in finance cost. So C, D, E, F. C, changes in stock. D, direct expenses. E, employees benefit expenses. F, finance cost. And then again do. D stands for depreciation and amortization expenses. Depreciation and amortization expenses. Amortization means written off. All the things which we used to write written off in P&L account, advertisement suspense written off, loose tools written off, all that will come here. In case of companies, what you'll have? Debenture discount written off, discount on issue of debentures written off, premium on redemption of preference shares written off, loss on issue of debentures written off. Anything which is written off is called amortization expenses. And then O stands for other expenses. In P&L account, debit side in partnership and proprietorship. Which all headings we used to write? 4 headings. Administrative, then selling, then finance, then other expenses and losses. Finance we have taken separately. What remains? Administrative, selling, other expenses and losses. That all will come in other expenses. Administrative expenses, selling expenses, other expenses and losses except depreciation and written off items. All other things will come in other expenses. So P&L format is over. Did you understand it? It's very small compared to balance sheet and very easy. No need of any story for this. Only 2 incomes. Sales, revenue from operations and other incomes. Against sales here, major expense, purchase. Then C, D, E, F, do. C, changes in stock. D, direct expenses. E, employees benefit expenses. F, finance cost. Again do D, depreciation and amortization means written off expenses. And O, other expenses. Did everyone understand it? So let us make the format. Directly in the format itself we'll write, no need to write 2 times the same thing. So give the heading limited. In summary, you would have left 1 page, then you will write this. Statement of profit and loss for the year ended. Particulars, note number, amount. Did you all get the question paper set? Yeah. 25 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be attentive now. For income, no heading is given. Straight away the incomes are written. So you write it this way. First, revenue from operations. In bracket you can mention sales and directly in outer column. Only expenses will come in first column of amount. All other items directly in outer column. Okay, 2 incomes. One is revenue from operations, second is other incomes. Directly in outer column. Then you have to write these numbers also the same way as I am doing it. Third will be the total. In bracket 1 plus 2. Is everyone clear with this? Amount of 1 plus 2 will be obtained as the total of 3. Then fourth is expenses. Now within expenses, first one is purchases. Now this will come in first column of amount. After purchases, leave 1 line. After the format is over, I'll explain one more point regarding purchases. So after purchases, leave 1 line. Okay. Now after purchases, C, D, E, F, do. Okay. C, changes in stock. And how would you obtain that? Opening minus closing. That you can write in bracket. Changes in stock means opening stock minus closing stock. Then D, direct expenses. What will that include? Yes, trading account debit side expenses except wages. Then CDE, employees benefit expenses. Which four things will come in employees benefit expenses? Salary, wages, bonus, contribution to PF. CDEFF, finance cost. What will finance cost include? Interest. Okay. CDEF do again D, depreciation and amortization, not demonetization. Amortization expenses in bracket written off. Amortization expenses means all those things which are written off. CDEF do D, depreciation and amortization, again O, other expenses. What will other expenses include? Administrative expenses, selling expenses and all other expenses and losses. Next line, outer column, we will write the total. Next line, outer column, we will write the total. Got it, everyone? Now, after 4th, 5th, profits before tax. That is 3 minus 4. Outer column of amount. Outer column of amount. Okay, how will you get the profit before tax? 3, that is the total of incomes, minus 4, that is the total of expenses. Okay, 3 minus 4. Any confusion in this? Then 6th item is provision for tax. It will always be given in percentage and you'll count it on profit before tax. So if it is given, let us say 35%, then profit before tax into 35%. If it is given 30%, then profit before tax into 30%. Provision for tax, if full final accounts is asked, it will be an adjustment. One effect will come here and second effect will come in short-term provisions. Okay, one effect will minus here and second effect will come in short-term provisions. Like you were asking for proposed dividend, that also has two effects. So even provision for tax, one effect we will minus here and second effect in short-term provisions. Heard everyone? And then the difference of two, profit after tax. Profits after tax in bracket 5 minus 6. And this profit after tax will be transferred to reserves and surplus. If we are to make full final accounts, which we'll be doing tomorrow, P&L and balance sheet both, then this profit after tax in full final accounts will show it in reserves and surplus. Did everyone understand this? So, any confusions? Yes or no? No confusions? Yes? This bracket? This? 3 minus 4. 3 is total of 1 and 2, minus 4 is expenses. And then 7 will be 5 amount minus 6 amount. Is everyone clear with this? Yes, any other confusions? Now this space which is left, be attentive. Two things are possible. Either the company, joint stock company whose accounts we are making, either it is a trading unit or it's a manufacturing unit. If it is a trading unit, then one more thing mentioned here, changes in stock of finished goods. Changes in stock of finished goods. Now if it's a trading unit, then it is only buying and selling. Okay, so you'll have purchases also, opening stock of finished goods also, and closing also. If it is a manufacturing unit, then it will not be buying raw material, it will not be buying finished goods, but it will be buying raw material. If it is a manufacturing unit, then it will not be buying finished goods, it will be buying raw material, and raw material will be converted into finished goods in the factory. So for manufacturing unit, instead of purchases, you will have cost of material consumed. Your material means raw material. How do you find this cost of raw material consumed? Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. But that is different from this stock. This is of finished goods. So cost of material consumed, but in your questions it would be directly given. So basically you need to see in the question before you make the format. Are you given with purchases or you are given with cost of material consumed? Either of the two will be given. Because if it's a trading business unit, then you will be given with purchases. If it is a manufacturing business unit, then you will be given with cost of material consumed. Or you may also be given with cost of goods sold. Now be attentive. Cost of goods sold can be for trading or manufacturing any of the units. But how do we obtain this cost of goods sold? Opening stock of finished goods plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. Once again, listen carefully what I am explaining. How is the cost, the goods which you are selling? What is the cost of those goods? Cost of goods sold. So how do you find the cost of the goods which you are selling? Opening stock of finished goods plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. And if it's a manufacturing unit, then opening stock of finished goods plus material consumed plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So in the question, if you are given with cost of goods sold, then next two items will not come. In the question, if you are given with cost of goods sold, then next two items will not come, because cost of goods sold already includes opening stock minus closing stock as well as direct expenses. Once again, how do you find cost of goods sold? Opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So if cost of goods sold is given in the question, then we won't write changes in stock of finished goods and direct expenses. So whenever we make the format, initially we are going to do the markings, which we will not do in the last two questions. Last two questions, and in exams also no need to waste your time in doing the markings. Straight away make the formats and fill in the blanks. But when you make P&L's format, then at this stage just read the question. Are you given with purchase, or are you given with cost of material consumed, or are you given with cost of goods sold? If purchase or cost of material consumed is given, then instead of purchase, if cost of material consumed is given, you'll write that and other items as it is. And if you are given with cost of goods sold, then don't write the next two items. Then don't write changes in stock of finished goods and don't write direct expenses. Did everyone understand this? So, did you all write this portion?
Yes.
Write down in the notes, as a note right now. Cost of goods sold is equal to cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock, next paragraph. Therefore, if cost of goods sold is given, therefore if cost of goods sold is given, changes in stock of finished goods, changes in stock of finished goods. Understood this, everyone? So summary is over. These many points are there in the chapter which you need to remember. Okay. Let us solve a question on profit and loss statement. Page number 151, question number 8. Page number 151, question number 8. I am discussing the items first, and same procedure. When we solve it, everything leave one line and write it. Okay, because if two expenses are given, then it will be required. If one is given, then also write in the next line and bracket. If two are given, then we can use that line and next line. More than two will never be given. So everything will write leaving one line. Question 8 on page 151. Following balances is taken from the books of Patel Limited. Prepare statement of profit and loss for the year ending on 31/3/17 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Raise your hand. Sale of scrap. Raise your hand. Sale of scrap. Shushti. Other incomes, mark it as OI. Okay. Cost of material consumed. Don't mark anything because it will come in cost of material consumed directly. Instead of purchases, we will write cost of material consumed. Raise your hand. Salary. Raise your hand. Janvi. Employees benefit expenses, mark it as E. Interest paid. Ria. Finance cost, mark it as F. Sales. Revenue from operations R. Changes in stock of finished goods directly given, so C. Office and administration expenses, other expenses O. Depreciation D. Provision for tax, don't mark anything, it will come at D. No markings. Right. Is everyone clear with it? And as such in exams, markings need not be done. So all are clear with this? Any confusions? Make the format. That short form you can mention it in bracket of expenses. I forgot to write. C, D, E, F, do. After purchases, okay? After purchases, you remember it as C, D, E, F, do. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be attentive now. Term first, revenue from operations, leave one line. Second, other incomes, leave one line. Third, total, in bracket 1 plus 2. Did everyone write up till here? Yes. Raise your hand who is still writing up till 3. Then fourth, leave one line, then fourth, expenses. Within that, do you have purchase or cost of material consumed or cost of goods sold? Cost of material consumed. Leave one line. After that, C, D, E, F, do. C, changes in stock. Leave one line. D, direct expenses. Leave one line. E, employees benefit expenses. Leave one line. F, finance cost. Leave one line. Do. D, depreciation and amortization expenses. Leave one line. Do. O, other expenses. Leave one line. Total. Did you understand this? Everyone? Then fifth, profit before tax, in bracket 3 minus 4. Now no need to leave one line, this will not have sub items. Straight away sixth, provision for tax, and seventh, profit after tax. 5 minus 6. Did everyone understand this? Now we have to do fill in the blanks. Raise your hand who all are still making the statement. And anyone having any confusions? Completed? Good. Now, sale of scrap in bracket of other incomes, right? Sale of scrap directly in outer column 10,500. If there are more than one other incomes, then write in inner column. Then you can use both the lines. In line of other income itself, write one income in bracket, then another one also, and then total in the outer column. Cost of material consumed straight away against cost of material consumed in inner column, first column of amount 187,500. What everyone? Salary in bracket of employees benefit expenses, salary 78,000, first column of amount. Anyone still writing till salary, raise your hand. Interest paid in bracket of finance cost, interest paid, first column of amount 9,000. All expenses will come in first column of amount. Did you all write interest paid?
Yes.
Sales, revenue from operations 3,81,000, outer column. Did you all write up till sales? Changes in stock of finished goods. Mention of finished goods also. Directly against that 12,000. Did everyone write it?
Yes.
Office and administration expenses in bracket of other expenses. Office and administration expenses. First column of amount 15,600. Did you all write that? Depreciation straight away against depreciation and amortization expenses 84,000. Okay, now provision for tax, keep it pending. After we get the amount of profit before tax, then only we will do that 30%. Okay. Everyone has written it? Now total of 1 and 2. So 381 plus 10,500.
3,91,500.
3,91,500. Is everyone clear with that?
Yes.
Direct expenses we don't have, so nil. Now 180, 190,
3,86,100.
3,86,100. Next line, outer column. Okay, 3,86,100. Total of expenses. Did everyone understand this?
Yes.
Now 3 minus 4. So 391,500 minus 386,100, 5,400. Able to understand this, everyone? Raise your hand who is still writing till profit before tax. Now, see the last information in the question. Provision for tax is given 30%. 5,400's 30%.
1620.
Show that in bracket also. 5,400 into 30%.
3780.
And 5,400 minus 1620, 3780. If we have to make full final accounts, this 1620 provision for tax, what second effect will you give? Short term provisions. And profit after tax 3780, reserves and surplus. Is everyone clear with it? Only these two adjustments if at all you have. Once again, provision for tax will also come in short term provisions and this will also come in reserves and surplus. Did everyone understand this? Any confusions? Look at page number, one correction is to be done so. Page number 132. Do you find this contents in detail? See, revenue from operations, sales minus sales return. Other incomes, interest and dividend received, bad debts recovered, profit on sale of asset. Net purchases, total purchase minus purchase returns. Changes in stock, opening stock minus closing stock. Direct expenses, cancel wages. Where should wages come? Employees benefit. In next item, employees benefit expenses, salary, comma, wages. Got it, everyone? So the direct expenses will include other things, carriage, inward, freight, etc. Employees benefit expenses, salary, wages, bonus, even commission will come in employees benefit expenses. Contribution to provident fund. Finance cost, interest on bonds or debentures, interest on loan or public deposit, interest on bank overdraft, interest on short term. Interest, financial expense. Depreciation and amortization. Depreciation on fixed assets, goodwill, patents, trademarks, etc. intangible assets and line written off. Debenture discount and line written off. Advertisement campaign expenses and line written off. Research and development expenses and line written off. Other expenses, postage, stationery, rent, audit fees, office and administrative expenses, sale expenses. Bad debts written off, but this does not come in depreciation and amortization. Okay, this is normal bad debts only. For bad debts, we always use the accounting language, bad debts written off. But that will come in other expenses. Did everyone understand this? Now, look at page number 149, question number 3. Be attentive. Page 149, question number 3. How will you show the following balances in the balance sheet of a company as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013? Meet creditors, trade payables, mark it as trade payables, TP. You can use the short forms, understandable by you, okay? Then, Swara bond, Khushi bond, Rashmi, long-term borrowings, mark it as long-term borrowings. Okay. No. Only bond means our bond. If it is given government bonds, municipal bonds, or that Narmada bond, or National Highway Authority bond, Sardar Sarovar bond, then investment. Bond is long-term borrowings. Okay. We are going in the wrong order, but that's fine. Okay. There, bank overdraft.
Cash and cash.
Bank overdraft, not bank balance. Overdraft. Ravlani? Short-term borrowings. See, this is very necessary. Headings you remember. In exams you get confused in the content. Where should it come? Okay, for that I am going to give you a certain homework today, which you need to follow. Because in exams, this is the only chapter where I feel textual question will not come. They can give you any things and you must be able to identify they come under which heading. So understanding the content is very necessary in this chapter. Bank overdraft, short-term borrowings. Vrinda, equity share capital. Share capital. Yuvraj, debenture discount to be written off during next year. Other current assets, I told you yesterday, if it is to be written off in the next 12 months, other current assets. If it is to be written off after 12 months, other non-current assets. Mark it as other current assets. Valerie, cash. Cash and cash equivalents. The way debentures. Debentures, share capital? No. Saloni? Long-term borrowings. Debentures are long-term borrowings. Nishi, loose tools. Inventories. Sarvesh, bills payable. Trade payables. Dimple, public deposits. Raise your hand. Anand. Long-term borrowings. Okay. Try to remember instead of seeing the things. Try to apply the logic. Where should it come? Okay. Yes, further. With the three patents. Intangible fixed assets. Mark it as intangible fixed assets because within fixed assets, yes, silence. Within fixed assets, we will show two things. So, intangible fixed assets. Then, Shivam, debenture redemption fund investment. No. Investment is never a liability. Renuka. Debenture redemption fund investment.
Non-current investment.
Non-current investment. It's an investment for long period of time. Non-current investment. NCI. Then Janvi, license. Intangible fixed assets. Okay. Please don't do that. I'm already discussing it. Don't turn the pages. And just now I told you still you are doing that again and again. If you are able to identify, otherwise I am discussing it already. License, because you are not concentrating on what I am discussing, that's why. You need to concentrate and remember it. If you listen, you'll remember. License is intangible fixed asset. Queen, a bank balance. Cash and cash equivalents. Darshan, deposits in electricity company. This we have done it in the practical questions also. Jiten? Long-term loans and advances. Mark it as long-term loans and advances. Basha, security premium. Reserves and surplus. Tejaswini, goodwill. Intangible fixed assets. Kushali, bills receivable. Trade receivables. Kavita, copyrights. Intangible fixed assets. Raise your hand. This I discussed in the discussions yesterday. Calls in areas and calls in advance, both I discussed. Calls in advance. Calls in advance. Ishan. Vrud? No. Veena? No. Other current liabilities. Calls in advances, other current liability. And what did I say about calls in arrears? Minus from share capital. Calls in arrears would minus from share capital and calls in advance, other current liabilities. Then, Pooja, provident fund? No. No. Provident fund, Shiva? Long-term provisions. Okay, all I told you, provident fund, gratuity fund, pension fund, we have to give to the employees when they retire. It is a long-term provision. Then, Khushbu, trademark. Intangible fixed assets. Then, the loan repayable during next year.
Short-term loans and short-term borrowings.
Not even short term. See, if you borrow the loan for less than 1 year, it is short term borrowing. What is this loan repayable during next year? We borrowed the loan for 5 years. 4 years are over. Now the loan is repayable in the next year. So other current liabilities. If you remember, I gave you this example yesterday. Debentures and etc. We borrow for 5 years. First 4 years it's a long term borrowing. In the 5th year it becomes other current liabilities. Did everyone understand this? If you borrow the money itself for less than 1 year, then only it's short term borrowing. Okay? Here loan repayable during next year, other current liabilities. General reserve, Krishna, reserves and surplus. Then Dhruv, debtors, trade receivables. Then Asta, calls in areas, minus from share capital. Then Pooja, stores and spare parts, inventories. So Saloni, closing stock, inventories. Then Jinal, surplus as per statement of profit and loss. Reserves and surplus, I told you yesterday, surplus we will show it as a positive figure and loss as per statement of profit and loss in reserves and surplus itself will show it as a negative figure. Surplus means profit, this profit after tax. Surplus as per statement of profit and loss is this profit after tax. It will come in reserves and surplus. And Divyaji, premium on redemption of preference shares.
Other long-term liabilities.
Other long-term liabilities. Other long-term liabilities. Did everyone understand this? Look at page 150. Question number 7. Look at this is more important in the chapter because when we solve it, I am telling you where it will come. And you have seen right now, if any new thing comes in exams, you will be in total trouble. So you need to practice this again and again to identify where the things come, okay? Page number 150, question 7. First, Atawale, sales. Revenue from operations. Now we are discussing P&L account items. Revenue from operations. Depreciation and amortization expenses. Akansha, debenture interest. Finance cost. Okay, debenture interest, finance cost. Neil Patel, income from scrap. Other incomes. Mewadi, advertisement expense. Other expenses. I told you administration, selling expenses, other expenses and losses. It is a selling expense. They all will come in other expenses. Direct expense, trading account, debits and items. Okay, this is not trading account item. Then, Khyati, interest on bank overdraft. Finance cost. Interest is finance cost. Okay. Then, Aryan, bonus. Who is in between Atawale and Dhruv Thakur. Bonus to employees. Employees benefit expense. Okay. Then who is with me? Jai. Salary. Employees benefit expenses. Sumana, bad debts recovered. Other incomes. Then Ritu, audit fees. Loudly. Other expenses. Audit fees will come in. Other expenses. Then Disha, profit on sale of asset. Other incomes. Then Rushil, contribution to provident fund. Employees benefit expense. I told you 4 things: salary, wages, bonus, contribution to PF. Contribution to provident fund is employees benefit expense. Renuka, bank charges, other expenses, and debenture discount, written off, depreciation and amortization expenses. Okay. By the way, answers were given at the back. But I am discussing so that you remember. And homeworks, note it down properly. First of all, P&L account based illustration 12 and 13. illustration 12 and 13. Now listen carefully. This marking based illustration 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 11. Now what I want in this last illustration 1, 2, 3, then 6, 7 and 11. Understand it? What I want is all these illustrations, write down in your notebook, make 2 columns. In one column first, don't write the answers, first write the question, copy the question. Illustration 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 11. Copy all the items in left side first. Close your textbook. Right side, whichever items you are able to mark it, write it. Whichever you are doubtful or not confident, leave it blank. At the end, blank items, circle it. See from the textbook where should they come. Again after this illustrations, those circled items, write it again. Suppose you are not able to answer 20 items. Then 20 items again after the homework is over, write them. And again try to identify them. Then again suppose lastly 5 items you are not able to write. Circle them and again write that 5. Do this exercise, then only you will be clear with which item should come under which heading. Is everyone clear with it?
Yes.
Tomorrow we will complete this chapter. Tomorrow interview.